Welcome guys to another andBeyond motorcycle session. We talk about what's new in the industry, who's doing what to expect, and new arrivals. You see what urban adventures is out there for the beginner and also the hardcore adventure rider. Thanks. We look at equipment, what we need to use, new techniques, and how we evolve as riders in general. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride with us. Cheers.
Learning from every single ride, and fortunately I've ridden with very, very capable people, and every ride there will be an incident and you think, geez, I wish I had this, I wish I had that.
Right.
So since 2016, 22 years, 23 years, I call it my red bag. It is red, and in there I keep everything that I've ever needed over all these years. I've got a little bit of everything, enough to get it right. So I mean, classic things like always have a real chart map. Don't ever
We're going old school. I like it.
Have a chart map.
I like it.
Always have a first aid book.
That's right.
Very, very important, and a small first aid kit.
That's right.
You know, skill yourself. Do your first aid level 1 and 2. We've all got it. Because that golden hour can be really critical if you look on that side of motorcycling. And normally you are out of areas which are very
familiar,
remote. So, there's no highway just next door. So,
that's right.
Then you have some expensive things, like I always carry a sat phone with me.
Yes, that is a big one. I've seen that.
But the nice thing is, if there's a group of 5 or 6 guys, you only need one.
That's right.
So my sat phone stays in my bag with me. And then there's things like, stupid things like tap and die set. You can tap and die a little bolt, because one little bolt can spoil your whole trip.
That's right.
A little clip on the screen out for all the adventures. They used to have little clips on the screens. The guys used to bump it or something and spoil his whole ride.
Yes.
So I keep a handful of those in. And your normal little set of talks and that type of thing. Nice big blanket, or not a blanket, a big towel. So when you are working on the bike, you can put your tools around. And
it's something very important. I like that.
Spark plug spanners. Generally, if you do, because of my height restriction, I'm not very good at crossing I'm not very good at crossing very deep rivers. So in my lifetime, I've lost a couple of bikes in the rivers, and so I've learned how to get them going again. And you know, if you don't have a spark plug for an F800 or 650, which is a long one, it's got to go through the top of the head, not one on the side. You know, you're stuck sitting there for 3 hours, turning the back wheel,
getting all the water out.
So now I make sure I've got those in my bag, and
interesting.
Of course, a little bit of rehydrate, fresh liter of water. So it sounds like a big bag, but I've managed to, over the years, kind of. And actually, I don't go anything. Of course, you got your tire repair kits.
Yes.
You got your chain breakers, a little thing like a chain breaker.
Yep.
If you're riding an 800 GS, you spoil the whole trip if your chain breaks.
Yeah.
So I've got a handful of links in my bag and a chain breaker, so we can fix things for the road. Spoke spanners, kind of thing. So a lot of little things which people don't think about. And
I think you've mentioned a couple which I haven't thought about in a while.
I tell you, 99% we'll never use it, but it's always that 1% time that I've learned.
Yes.
Had we just had this.
That's right.
Simple thing like hand cleaner. You know, you got your hand in the oil the whole day. Now you got to put your gloves on and get going. That kind of thing. So, and it just needs to be a little bit like this.
You know, Roger, and my bag is not half as stocked as this, and I've taken some mental notes here. But from my side as well, I throw stuff in like Zambuk, sunscreen.
Yes, that's always your given. You're given a spare. You're given a spare.
Bed lemon.
Earplugs, pomadas.
Yes.
You know, those are given things. Lipas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than riding with
dry lips or something like that.
After a couple of days you've been out in the sun.
I agree.
There's lots of little things which are given, but as you ride more and more and more, you'll pick it up.
That's right.
You'll quickly pick up what you need and what you don't.
But then my question is, you know, you're an expert and you've been riding many years, multiple styles, and I walk in here and I've just purchased a new, you know, motorcycle. Doesn't matter whether it's an adventure bike or scooter. What's your suggestion to a newbie? He comes in here and he says, you know what, I bought a helmet and this is the type of style I ride, but it's, you know, not important. What would you suggest for a newbie? You know, a sat phone would be a bit much.
No.
You know.
I think let's go back to a newbie, like, as you put it, walking through the shop. I think the most important thing for a newbie is to really start off with some good training.
Yes,
Good
I like
training.
that. Get schooled,
go
get
to one
educated.
there's many people out there doing off-road training, especially if you're on a GS or on a big KTM. I mean, these bikes are incredibly powerful. And they're hard bikes, and they're difficult to ride, let me tell you.
That's right.
They're not easy motorcycles to ride. But once you get the hang of it, you know, there's a few critical rules you need to know, like never look down, because you're always going to go where your eyes go.
Going ahead.
It's like flying.
That's exactly, because we're going to be there in 2 seconds.
What's happening right here is
irrelevant.
Yes, so these are the little things that they train you
Very
on the
nice
training
statement.
school. So for me, critically, I can see if a guy's been trained or not, just by the way he climbs on his bike. And unfortunately, a lot of people have got massive egos, and especially in the biking world, I don't know why. And if you have to tell a guy to go on a riding course, you know, he'll tell me he's been riding since he was a lighty. And I'm saying, yeah, fine, but it's not the same bike. So I really encourage the guys to go and spend some days. And there's some wonderfully good day riding schools. And I mean, I did it, and I still do it once a year, just to keep, you know, just to keep up to that level. Because every time we go riding, you don't spend a day working on your balance, on your head position, on these little things.
I agree,
and
totally.
And the riding courses I do a lot of them often because A, I enjoy them, and B, I continue learning. But
it's also a place where we share wisdom, where, you know, because this is a evolving style, it's an evolving lifestyle, you know, and you're the third or fourth guy that's mentioned it last week, that a refresher training annually is of the utmost importance, regardless if you're an expert rider or beginner.
Oh, yes.
But for me, what's interesting is if we do get together, wherever it might be, and we do the course, but it's, you know, during the coffee breaks, we share knowledge about, you know, kicking your stand out there, or if the bike falls, you know, I've learned this, or I've lost my balance here, or, you know, I've seen this, and it's these snippets of golden nuggets that's also important over and above the training you'll get.
And I mean, for me, being in the business, there's nothing nicer than seeing a guy take his helmet off and he made that emergency stop. I mean, he's just like achieved this, or he got up this hill.
He's in ecstasy.
He's just like taking his helmet off, and that pure just smile, and this is the only thing going on in this guy's mind at that moment. And it's the same as delivering a new motorcycle. I think I'm in the best business in the world. When a guy takes a new motorcycle, he's just in a different world. That smile, and I think these little achievements you make while you're riding get more and more and more. And still, you can be riding for 20 years and you'll still have an achievement.
That's right.
And it will give you that adrenaline feeling.
That's it. That's why we do it.
And I think that's what makes it so special. But coming back, it can only be special if you do know some rules. And there's some big rules you need to know about these motorcycles. I think they're getting too fast, in my own opinion. The suspension is getting so big, they're so good now with electronics that, you know, if you're sitting on one of the big 1290s, 1150s, 1200s, now going to be 1300s, you know, 120 on a dirt road is not.
It's a different animal.
Not uncommon, because the suspension is so good, the wind protection is so good, and all of this, and to stop a 300 kilogram bike at 120.
And so we come to an end of another andBeyond motorcycle session. We had a good chat with either the average rider or hardcore adventurer. Like myself, I sit there and I see if I can extract knowledge or wisdom or any small tip or golden nugget. I hope you got something out of this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers, guys.